Okay, so our employee resource groups. So we do have 4 employee resource groups. Our first one that we ever had was our Women's Advantage group. These employee resource groups, I just want to say, they're a really great way to get involved with CBIZ. So we have Women's Advantage group. And then after them came the CBIZ Young Professionals, which you can guess, they are aimed at young professionals. And then this year we had 2 others introduced. So CBIZ BIPOC, which is Black, Indigenous, people of color, and then Pride. So those 2 are brand new. And actually, my teammate is on the exec board for Pride, so that's been really exciting. But these are really great ways for you to get involved outside of work, with your offices, with the brand nationally. They do a lot of different events. So they will do things like happy hours or, networking events. There will be opportunities for you to volunteer with them, Dress for Success. The campaign just went out actually last week, and that's through Women's Advantage. So there's a lot of ways you can get involved, and it's a really great way to kind of build your network. And so these are our logos for them. But yeah, it's a really great way to grow your network and kind of be involved at work without just your day-to-day, responsibilities. Okay, Mid-Atlantic. More information about us specifically. We have over 1,300 team members spread out across between Philadelphia and New York. There are 5 New York metro offices. There's 2 in Manhattan, 1 in Long Island, 1 in Purchase, and 1 in Parsippany, New Jersey. And then in Philly, there's 1 in Philly, and then 1 that is in the suburbs of Philadelphia. There is a 5-to-1 staff to managing directors ratio. The top industries served are going to be manufacturing and distribution, not-for-profit, construction, real estate, professional services. I'm trying to think of what else. Consumer goods. There is technology. There are many different industries. Something very unique about CBIZ, fun fact for you. The New York office is one of 2 firms in Manhattan that does entertainment taxes, and actually we do taxes for Broadway. So when you come in our office, there is like a section of the office that is clearly the entertainment group. They have all the playbills on the wall of every single show they've ever worked on, which is really unique and fun and cool. And then service lines, so audit, tax, advisory, private equity advisory. If you are interested in advisory, definitely let me know. I am not the advisory recruiter. You will hang with me if you want tax and audit, great. But if you want advisory or forensic accounting or anything like that, I will pass you along to my awesome teammates, and they can get you all that information. But we do have all those lines of business in our Mid-Atlantic and New York, specifically office. Okay, finding your fit. So the first thing I think that we have to think about when we are trying to choose the right field is just thinking about, do I want to do audit? Do I want to do tax? Do I want to do forensic accounting? Which, by the way, I didn't know very much about until recently, and I listened to a session, and that was fascinating. If I was an accountant, that's probably what I would do. And advisory. And then you kind of have to decide, do I want to do public accounting? Do I want to get my CPA license? Do I want to do private, or do I want to work for the government? So all of those things, you kind of just have to keep in the back of your mind when you're trying to kind of narrow down your choices for internships and full-time offers, and any kind of firms that you want to work for. Okay, so size matters. So there are kind of 4 different tiers. And I know that a lot of times people think about local and they think about the big 4. But there are kind of 2 in the middle there that are a good fit if you don't want to be local and you don't want to go to the big 4. So local, that's going to be, your private CPA firm. It's typically very small. There's usually just a few employees there. It's usually a family business. It's a lot smaller. Your regional firm. So that's going to be, a New York metro kind of CPA firm. It's, maybe they serve Connecticut and New York. They're kind of regionally based, local. Mid-size, that is, good size. It is not too big. It is not too small. It is just right. That's what I like to say, Goldilocks. They could be national, but they don't have 200,000 employees. We're talking more 6 to 10,000 employees, let's say. So they're not super, super big. They're not super, super tiny. You do still have national resources, but you might get more of a local feel. And the big four, we know who the big four is. They are all over the place, hundreds of thousands of employees, lots of different sectors of the business. They're not just focusing on accounting now. They are also doing other things, which is really awesome. So just depending on kind of where you want to be, you kind of got to, talk to people and figure that out. But those are kind of your options. Again, I think a lot of students think about like local firms or they think about the big four, but you have so many options as an accounting student, which is absolutely incredible as you, plan out your career. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it can be really overwhelming. I love this meme. I just think he's so cute. But he'll start his job search tomorrow. It is very overwhelming. You all should pat yourself on the back though, because when you're an accounting student, you have to make so many big adult decisions as soon as you enter college. You really do. And you have to decide, like, am I going to go on the CPA track? Am I going to, am I going to do my CPA? Am I going to go private? Am I going to go what am I going to do? Like, you have to make so many of those choices, like right up front. And so it can be really overwhelming, but you guys are doing it. So good. Yay. So definitely, pat yourself on the back for that. Yeah, also the fact that you chose accounting, great. I don't know if you all know this, but accounting is down to 17% of students enrolled. Yep, that's nationally. So we are seeing like a lot of loss in percentage of students that are enrolled in accounting. So the fact that you guys are accountants, you've chosen a great profession, you'll always have a job. It's awesome. And you have so many choices as to like how you can, make your career path go. Okay. So when you're thinking about the field that you want to go into, you kind of got to think about your goals. What are my short-term goals? What are my long-term goals? Again, you're having to make a lot of decisions right up front. And it's okay to not know everything. That's totally fine. You'll figure it out, trust me. And you're definitely going to want to see all of your choices and options. Read job descriptions, right? What aligns to what you want? What do you find satisfying when you look at a job description? Definitely get some internship experience if you're able to. Maybe you do a rotational internship where you get audit and tax experience, right? Or maybe you do audit one time and you do tax another time. Definitely like experiencing a lot of internships is really great. Listen to professionals as to why they chose their field. It's definitely important. Like if you go to a career fair, if you are coming to a presentation like this, and somebody is presenting that, has been in the field a while, like why did they choose that field? A lot of professionals also, maybe they tried one and they ended up going to the other. Why did they do that? Definitely listen to their experiences because it can help you so much kind of decide where you want to go. Do you hope to grow in a particular field from the start? Like if you're really interested in forensic accounting, go for that forensic accounting internship. It can only help you, right? And let's say you get the forensic accounting internship and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. Just kidding. That's okay. That's okay. You figured that out. That's totally fine. You'll figure it out as you go. And again, it's okay not to know all of this ahead of time. It's okay to change your mind. We're human beings. We're not robots. So it's okay to, make decisions and then say, oh, I don't know if I like that. You can always, reverse your choice, so to speak. Okay, you have to think about what are non-negotiables for you. So things to consider during recruitment. Are they public? Are they private? Where are they located? What kind of training resources do they have? Are they a national level firm? What does the culture look like? What are the people like that you interact with? What is the staff to manager ratio? Do they have CPA exam prep materials? When are those provided to you, right? Do you have to wait until you start there? Are you given those as an intern? Are you able to have those when you have a full-time offer? All of that's really important. Okay, so you have to think to yourself, what is important to you in a firm? That is number one, most important thing. Unfortunately, nobody else can make that decision for you, right? I can sit here and tell you, come to CBIZ, it's wonderful. But at the end of the day, you would have to make that decision, right? So you have to make the decision for yourself. So these are a few things that could be important to you. The type of work you're doing. What kind of environment do you thrive in? Do you like working with a team? Are you somebody that just likes to just be head down, nobody talk to me, I just want to be by myself? What types of people do you want to work with? Is firm rank and recognition and all of that, is that important to you? What kind of clients you work with? Your work-life balance. Are you working 100 hours a week, or are you working 55 hours a week? That's important. Professional development opportunities, job security, hopefully you have good job security, what kind of career growth you'll have, and any kind of employee recognition or appreciation programs. So all those things can be, matter to you. The other thing I will say, it is okay if salary is important to you, right? We have to live. So if that's important to you too, that's something you should definitely consider when you're getting offers, when you're looking at firms, things like that. Okay, interacting with firms, very important. So the right cultural fit. So firm culture is very important. So unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we do spend a majority of our time at work. So you really need to like the people that you work with, because otherwise you are going to be sad. And especially during busy season, you are working with these people a lot. You are working overtime. You are with them quite a bit of time, so you really need to like them. I can tell you that I'm in busy season right now. It's my busy season, and I absolutely love my team. So I am live, laugh, loving, and having the best time with them. So it's really important to make sure that you're finding a place where you are enjoying working with people that you do. Definitely attend multiple firm events, meet as many professionals as you can. The more you talk to people, the more you'll get a vibe, right? If you talk to people and you're like, ooh, okay, I talked to this person and I did not like their vibe as much as I like this firm's vibes, pay attention to that. Definitely ask questions that you care about. You can see what the difference is, how each firm answers them. I'll give you a little trick that I use. So whenever I was doing interviews, I picked one question and I would ask each interviewer that I had an interview with and kind of compare the answers. And it was really, really starkly obvious by the end that I definitely knew where I wanted to go because of how professionals were answering that. So that's a really good trick. Pick one question and ask every single person that you interact with that question and see how they answer. And then think about how it made you feel. Right? Did that answer make you feel yucky on the inside? Or did you go, oh my gosh, I really want to work there now because they said that answer, right? So if you're getting that yucky feeling, that's probably not a good place for you. But if you're getting that, oh, I want to work there place, that's a really, really good thing. So definitely pay attention to your gut feeling. It really helps. Asking the important questions. So again, asking questions that are important to you or ones that you're curious about. If you're not sure about your service line preference, ask if they have a rotational program. A lot of times, so in the New York office here at CBIZ, we don't have a rotational program yet. I would love to have one, but we don't have one yet. So a lot of times when students are like, hey, I don't know which one I want to do, I go, you know what, it's okay. Maybe you do this one this time, and if things go well, maybe we can switch you over to another line. So the worst thing that we can do, right, is say no. That's the worst that'll happen. But a lot of times if you tell us hey, I don't know which I want to do, I just want experience in both, we can probably make it happen. We just unfortunately can't read your mind. So if you are open and honest with us, we can definitely try to make things happen. So responses or lack of responses to current events can speak to firm values. So regarding diversity efforts, or if for some reason that firm is in the news, maybe for layoffs or something, and you're asking about that and they're just not able to answer the question or whatever it might be, think to yourself, that's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that response, or maybe you're satisfied with it. But either way, think about how that makes you feel. Keep an open mind, so don't rely just solely on name recognition. It's really shiny, but you never know what kind of diamond might be out there for you, other than just the brand name recognition. And then again, exploring all your options. the more you talk to people, the more comfortable you get with it, the more you're able to kind of decide, oh, okay, I realize like I really like regional firms. I don't really want to do Big Four, or okay, I want to do Big Four. I don't want a local firm. The more you talk to people, the more you're able to like understand the vibe and kind of what direction you want to go. So definitely, explore all of your options. Okay, standing out from the crowd. So like I just said, attend as many recruiting events as possible. They're great practice also, because when you get in an interview, a lot of times you want to practice like your social skills, your networking skills. It really helps you during the interview process. So definitely attending these events can only help you. So you also do learn more about firms and you talk to a lot of professionals. We also become more familiar with you, right? A lot of times, I'll meet a student at an event and I'll correspond with them. I'll say, thank you so much for coming. And then, soon after I see them in my requisition and I go, oh my gosh, I remember that student. They were at whatever event they were at. So it definitely helps us with, name recognition. And it's always good to get your face in front of us. So advice from a CBIZ professional, it's not about who you know, but who knows you. So it's definitely important to interact with us, especially firms that you're like really interested in. It's really, really, important that you're getting in front of us and saying like, hi, maybe saying like, oh, I remember that you came to XYZ event. I'm so excited to see you here again, or whatever it might be. So definitely engaging with us as much as possible is very important. So doing your research, don't be me. I will tell you that when I was looking for a job, I saw CBIZ and I was doing recruiting for AI and machine learning, and I saw the logo and I said, oh my gosh, tech firm. This is a tech firm. I know what this is. And I got to the interview and my now manager said, yep, so we're a mid-sized accounting firm. And I said, oh, okay. I know nothing about accounting, but it's fine. So anyways, that being said, don't be me. Do your research beforehand. So see if we have like your preferred service line. Do they have something that you haven't previously considered? Check out their website. Check out social media. LinkedIn, Instagram. We have it all. And see what they're promoting. A lot of times the campus recruiting team specifically has an Instagram. We do, and I know a lot of other teams do as well. So definitely see what are we promoting on there? What's happening? The mission statement, clients. Who are your clients? Are they industry specific? Are you interested in a certain industry that we work with? Clients there, you can find out some of our clients and definitely see if that's like interesting to you. Professional development, community, work-life balance. Are they meeting what's important to you? Again, it is at the end of the day, only you can make a decision for yourself, right? So definitely making sure that you are meeting they are meeting any kind of criteria that's really important to you. Okay, interview process. So from our perspective, you are an investment, right? We want to ensure that you're a great fit. We want to ensure that you are, in the right place. And it really allows us the opportunity to see and assess when an application or a resume does not. So, a resume is great. Applications are great. They tell me the basic facts about you, but I want to know, like, who are you? What is your personality like? What are your communication skills like? Your problem solving skills. A lot of times, our interviews are very behavioral based. We want to know about that time that you had to work on a project and how did you deal with a difficult classmate. We want to know. We want to see how you manage your time, things like that. So, resume, important. Application, important. Interview process, definitely super, super important. And we want to know you. So definitely, bring your best self to the interview, but be yourself. And just as a reminder, it's just a conversation. That's all it is. It's just a conversation between two people. I know that interviews can be very like overwhelming and stressful, but trust me, it's just a conversation. Nothing to be stressed about. From your perspective. So you can assess us and see how we align with your values. Definitely come prepared with questions. I like to say 10 to 15 questions in your back pocket. Obviously, you don't need to ask 10 to 15 questions, but if you have 10 to 15 questions prepared, you're prepared. We can answer them, whatever it might be. types of questions that we ask you, they might reveal what's important to them. So I will tell you that like we're really big on teamwork. So there might be a question about the time that you worked with a difficult classmate. How did you handle it? How did you handle the group project? Because we want to know, like, how did you work on a team? And what were the personalities of the interviewers like? So they might be overseeing you if you're hired. So, you know, if you're vibing with them, that's awesome. If you're not vibing with them, and your gut feeling is, oh, I don't know if I really enjoyed that interaction. I don't know if I really enjoyed meeting with them. You know, definitely like keep that in the back of your mind as well, because they may be your manager. So again, the accounting field is a continuous learning environment. You're definitely going to want to follow any kind of news that's surrounding the field. Things are changing every single day. I just heard something about the CPA, some rule is changing again. So anyways, things are constantly changing. So definitely keeping up to date with all of the current events are very important. Connecting with everybody on LinkedIn. I love it when students connect with me on LinkedIn. Like I gladly accept all requests. I keep wanting to say friend. That's not right. Connection requests. So definitely, you know, connecting with any professional that you meet on LinkedIn is great. Growing your soft skills is really essential. So, you know, practicing time management, practicing your communication. I like to tell students, like, even if it's just like reading off interview questions and then answering them back in the mirror, like that's great practice. The other tool that I will tell you guys about that I just found out about is actually that Google has a an interviewer like practice mode, and it'll ask you questions and then you can like give answers. And so that's really neat and a really cool asset. So definitely try to be as positive and proactive in the job as possible. So, you know, if you have an internship, definitely being like positive and being like, okay, like I have questions, or I'm going to try to figure this out and then I'll go ask questions, or whatever it might be. Definitely being proactive is good. You know, in your job search, you may encounter difficulties, right? But definitely remaining positive will be one of your best assets. And don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Like you're a student, you're learning. We're all learning. We're all students. So, you know, definitely asking questions, like it's really important. And the only way you get to learn is to like ask, right? So definitely asking questions is important. So don't be afraid to ask them. That's why we're here. We're here to help you. Okay, LinkedIn. So building your network. So definitely connect with recruiters, connect with professionals that you might meet. You can see regular updates from the firms. If hopefully all firms have this, but you should follow them if you're interested on LinkedIn, because we do post like a lot of updates. CBIZ is very active on LinkedIn, and we like to post about different things that are happening. We post articles and we post pictures, all kinds of things. So one of the big things that's happening right now is that our headquarters that's in Cleveland, Ohio is being finished up. They actually just put on the big CBIZ sign on the side of it. So that was a big LinkedIn post. We're very excited. But anyways, that's kind of a little bit about LinkedIn. It never hurts to send a message, but please be respectful of the professional's time. A lot of times, unfortunately, we don't have time to answer everybody's LinkedIn message. And I wish that wasn't the case. But, you know, even to just say like, you know, hey, so-and-so, I met you at the Meet the Professionals event, and it was so great to meet you. That's a wonderful LinkedIn message. It just kind of lets me or whoever know like, hey, I met you here. And that's how we have this connection. So definitely like dropping a little note, but not expecting anything back is always good. And then posting relevant information about yourself. So you could be yourself professionally, but also show your personality. I have quite a few LinkedIn stars on my team and also that I work with. And they're really good about like posting things that they're doing professionally. Like they're going to conferences, they are traveling, they are going to holiday parties, things like that. But they also post like personal things sometimes. And so it's really nice just to see kind of like their personality. My teammate is like the selfie king. Like every single event he goes to, he's like, everybody selfie, like, and that's just who he is. So his LinkedIn is filled with a lot of selfies. So if that's you, great. If that's not you, that's okay. You know, I'm personally not that person, so I will not do that. But I, you know, definitely show your personality. We want to know you, right? It's not just, oh, I'm a stuffy professional. No, be yourself. Campus resources, I cannot stress this enough. Your career center, they are here to help you and they want to help you. Utilize them, because when you leave, you may not have access to it anymore. You know, they're there for you. It's a free resource. You do pay for it with school fees. So you don't have this when you leave school. So definitely like utilizing them while you're there, very important. They are excellent. They are really, really excellent. They host a lot of things, I'm sure. Workshops, advising, resume review, like all of that stuff, interview practice, all of that is hosted through the Career Center. So if you have the opportunity to engage with them, definitely take it. They are really, really a great resource for you. I literally cannot stress this enough. I wish I spent more time in my Career Center before I graduated. I wish I had it now, but you know, so they're there, use them. Using Handshake or any kind of campus job board that you have to apply for positions and explore opportunities. You can definitely also just like, if you're interested in a role or a firm, a particular firm, like definitely just like check out their website and see what's out there. If you can get contact information for a recruiter, it is never a bad thing to reach out and say, hey, you know, just wondering about XYZ opportunities, especially if you don't like see something posted, because most of us, you know, we want to tell you, you know, hey, you know, maybe we're full, or, you know, check back later, or whatever it might be. So definitely shooting us an email is never a bad thing if you have somebody's contact information. But using Handshake is also a great tool because it shows you like a lot of different jobs, a lot of different companies and all that. So you can kind of compare and contrast. And then talking to your classmates who have had internships at firms, talk to them about their experience, right? They're a great resource for you as well. They can tell you, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this and this is what I got to do. Or maybe they didn't have a great experience and they can tell you that. You know, definitely they're great resource. Use them as well, because you know, it might be a good fit for you if it's a good fit for them, and kind of vice versa. Okay, so just remember, it can all be a roller coaster when searching for the right internship or job, but you are going to be absolutely okay. You will figure it out. It's okay to make mistakes. You will figure it all out in the end. Okay, that is it. My email is not on here, but I can provide my email. But if you didn't scan in, definitely scan this code, if you wouldn't mind, just so that I can keep in touch with you. I will warn you, I'm a little bit of an annoying recruiter, and I do keep in contact with pretty much like all the students that I talk to, and so I will email you like opportunities if they're open, or anything like that. So anyways, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. What about the culture of CBIZ do you like the most? Or is there anything that for you personally that you enjoy about the firm and their culture?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, and one that honestly I could talk about for hours. I won't, but I could. Just a little bit of background about me. I came from a Big Four bank. Like I mentioned, I was recruiting for AI and machine learning positions, and I was recruiting anywhere from undergrads to PhD level. So a little bit different than accounting. And I honestly was just looking for a change. And I just wanted like a little bit of a different experience. I loved where I used to work. I got a lot of really great experience. I just wanted something new. And so when my now manager approached me and she said, hey, I have an opening on my team, just kind of wondering like if you're interested. I said, okay, I'll take the conversation. Obviously I shared, I did not research at all beforehand. Don't be me. And I got in the call and she was just telling me, oh my gosh, like everybody's really supportive. It's a really great team environment. There's a lot of opportunities to grow. If you have a question, like there's like 20 people like waiting to answer that. And I said, oh my gosh, this sounds like a scam. Like this does not sound like a real company. And so I didn't say that to her, but I thought it in my head. And so anyway, I talked to other people on the team. They kind of reiterated the same thing, like really, really great team environment. Everybody was very friendly. People were really supportive of one another. And I was like, okay. So when it came down to it, I was like, you know what, if I don't like it, then I'll just quit. It's fine. And then I got here and I realized like they were not scamming me at all. Like the team culture is astounding. I have never seen anywhere like it. We are so supportive of one another. I think that people really love to come into the office. People really do feel like a second family. I think a lot of my business members would agree. People are very passionate about what they do. I have folks, for instance, that are in tax. They will talk to you about tax laws for hours. Just because like that's what they're passionate about. So I think that, overall it's a really supportive environment. I think it's also very telling that there are a lot of folks who have been here for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. I got an email about a lady who's been here 35 years. So in a time and age when people are, just changing their jobs every 2 seconds, it's like really refreshing to be somewhere where people stay a long time.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about the work-life balance at CBIZ?
Yeah, sure. On average, this is what I'm told. On average, during busy season, our associates work about 55 hours per week. I had an associate recently tell me that she has worked 65 hours, all of like 3 times in her many years at CBIZ. So honestly, I think that really kind of goes back to the teamwork aspect of things, because we are such a team focused and driven environment. If you are for some reason drowning or you're overwhelmed or whatever it might be, you do have a team, you do have a manager that's supporting you. So you should hopefully never feel like way overwhelmed. Of course, as the deadline looms, you might work a few more hours, right? But you're not working 100 hours or anything like that. That's not how we operate. The other thing I will say is that I think we do a really good job of like taking care of our employees during busy season. So we feed you guys a lot. And they bring in like puppies for people to snuggle, and they will like leave little presents on your desk to say like you're doing a good job. So I have a team actually, which not for me, but I know some people like this. They do Orange Theory Fitness every single Monday together, in the middle of the day, just to like break it up, and sweat a little so that they can focus when they get back. But yeah, they do that. I have a teammate who actually was at the event last week. During busy season, every single Monday, she sends out an email, and within that email is like 5 dad jokes, just because she loves dad jokes. Like it's bad, but she loves them, so she sends them out just to kind of like lighten the mood and like set everybody off on a good start on Monday. So I think that we have really good work-life balance. I know every single company will tell you, oh, we have a great culture, everything is awesome. CBIZ has won over 80 awards in the past year, for just like our culture, for being one of the healthiest employers. New York has won Best and Brightest. I think actually nationally we just won that award. So overall, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to come join CBIZ. I'm also saying that just because I truly do believe it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anything else?
And where are your New York offices located?
Yeah, sure. So I have 2 in Manhattan. The 2 in Manhattan, one is by Bryant Park, and the other one is off of 3rd Avenue, right by Grand Central Station. I have one in Woodbury, Long Island, not to be confused with the Woodbury Commons. It's on Long Island. And I have one in Purchase, and then I have another one in Parsippany, New Jersey.
Oh, really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Anything else? Fabulous. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you having me. Again, like